Hi, I'm James Shillinglaw aboard Silver Nova, and we've been interviewing a lot of folks around here about this brand new ship. It's a revolutionary ship, and I have a gentleman here who we have interviewed in the past on Silversea voyages. I've actually never interviewed him. My partner Alan has. Adam Sachs, who's the director of S.A.L.T. And what is S.A.L.T? It's the Culinary and Destination Program, Sea and Land Taste Program that was instituted a while ago. And we're going to talk to Adam about this program and how it's evolved here on this ship. And you're going to find out about that and more on Insider Travel Report. Now, Adam, first of all, it's great to finally see you and meet you. I mean, Alan got all the time to eat. He got all the great meals. What happened there?
Well, we traded up, obviously.
We traded up. I don't know about, don't tell him.
Maybe Alan decided not to. He's had too many great meals, and he wants to share the bounty with you.
I agree. I think I do need a little sharing here with this bounty.
We need you both on board.
Well, we're going to try that. We're really never in two. We're not really in the same place ever. This is
like Superman and Clark Kent. You don't see you in the same.
It's odd because we do look so much alike. Now let's talk about this thing. Now, first of all, remind us about S.A.L.T. What exactly is the program, and roughly when did it begin?
So, as you mentioned, S.A.L.T. is an acronym for Sea and Land Taste, and it really is that idea to take sort of the best of what's out there. You can't see it, but when I'm pointing out there, I'm pointing out these giant, beautiful windows we have on Silver Nova.
Right now, we're in Croatia, so we're looking at that area.
So we're in Croatia, but wherever we are, we're thinking about, what are the food cultures, what are the tastes, what are the ingredients, what are the techniques, what makes the food culture of this place different than where we sailed from yesterday and where we're going tomorrow, and what makes it unique and what makes it interesting and compelling and delicious, and bringing that stuff on board. So while it's lovely, to be able to go on a ship and have the thing that you're familiar with and know that you have your bottle of wine and your table and the dish you love, that's all here, obviously. There's lots of places you can do that, but with S.A.L.T. specifically, the whole idea is to really connect the traveler, the guest, to where we are in the world through the lens of food, drink, food culture, taste, wine.
Which is what it's all about now. Is what it's all about, is being part of that destination and like that. Now you started this program and it's been really successful. And how has it evolved here on Silver Nova? You got maybe at different venues or in different places this time, because you have, how many different S.A.L.T. venues do you have here?
So we like to think of it as this kind of S.A.L.T. ecosystem, and it is on board and off. So on board we've got where we are, S.A.L.T. Bar.
I hear that's one of your favorites.
Well, I don't have a reputation, but
we're trying to give you one. We're trying to give
slept here, but I do show up, early when they open and try to stay till they close.
This one's right by the S.A.L.T. Labs.
Yes, so it's work. I'm here for work.
That's right. That's what I keep telling everybody when I do.
Exactly. Right. Testing the product, quality control is important. So we got S.A.L.T. Bar, which has traditionally been. So we're now on 3 ships with this one. So we were on Silver Moon, which we launched in summer 21. We were supposed to launch 2020, but obviously something happened in the world that didn't allow that to happen. So we launched S.A.L.T. on Silver Moon, then Silver Dawn, and now we're on Nova. And Moon and Dawn are sort of physically the same product, essentially. But with Nova, we got a chance to really expand. So S.A.L.T. Bar, which everyone loves, but sometimes you can't get a space at, and it's intimate, it's cozy, it's sexy. It's like, to me, the best, my favorite room on Dawn or Moon. Sometimes I feel bad because I don't want to take a seat from someone else. So we expanded S.A.L.T. Bar, and then behind us, and you're going to see it tonight, we have our greatly expanded and improved and just sort of, really turned into a whole new beast, S.A.L.T. Lab, which is where we do cooking classes, where we bring in chefs, cookbook authors, regional experts who help us design the classes, and then work with our S.A.L.T. host who's here full time to give these classes. But the classes are always not just about a recipe, it's sort of the culture and the stories behind it. And then because we have this beautiful space, which again is right behind us, you'll see when you go in, it's has a beautiful outdoor area. It's got open light everywhere, and so because it's such a big space, it would make sense. It would be a tragedy not to use it for more of the day. So in the evenings, Al Novo we just introduced starting last night, and you're going to be
I'm doing it tonight. That'll be
going to
interesting.
be guinea pig number 2. Tonight will be.
They all survived, I hope.
We're checking in. There are a few we haven't heard from.
Maybe they overate. That
It
was
could
the
be.
problem.
Yeah, they had too much good stuff. But yeah, so you'll be at the test run number 2. But it was a big success last night. So it's a chef's table concept in our SALT lab. So instead of going in during the day where you roll up your sleeves, you put on an apron, you learn how to make something, this is more. It's still very interactive, but you're being really pampered and taken care of by our chefs. And the idea is, even though it's called Chef's Table, it's not about a famous TV chef or it's not about the personality of the chef. It's that sort of one-to-one intimacy of being cooked for, of being able to ask questions. You see, the action in the kitchen. You can partake. There's chopping. There's blowtorching. There's finishing.
I'm looking forward to that. A little blowtorching in the evening.
Yeah.
I don't.
No, you don't have to do any blowtorching yourself. But it may be the only live fire on the ship. So. But yeah, it's a really fun. It just sort of extends the SALT concept and so downstairs we've got SALT Kitchen, which is the restaurant that changes menus daily based on where we are in the world.
So last night we were in Venice, so it reflected Venice. Right?
So yeah, the menu has 2 parts, and half the menu is our voyage menu, and that sort of takes inspiration from the region as a whole. So wherever you're traveling. On that particular cruise, we kind of allow ourselves to, it doesn't have to be a certain port. We could go inland, we could go up north if we're south, but just from those countries. So we don't, if you're in Europe but you don't go to France that trip, we don't take a French dish. But then the other side, so that's a voyage menu, which is a little bit of a broader influence and then or inspiration. And then the terrain menu is sort of our daily special, and that changes literally every day. And it's really supposed to be connected to in a granular way where we are.
So we're in Croatia now. This will reflect Croatia.
Yeah. So today in Zadar, the menu at SALT Kitchen will be different than what it was yesterday leaving Venice.
But then you also have an excursions. That in fact you got a date in about an hour to go ashore on a SALT excursion. And what do you do during those?
So those are custom designed, by us in-house, food and wine focused shore excursions. Always, again, with an eye of sort of traveling deeper through the lens of food and food culture, and really depending on where they are, because it's not one size fits all. So some of them are going to, Michelin star restaurants and having amazing meals, but having a time with the chef or cooking with the chef a little bit. Some of them are going on tuk-tuk into the hills in the Philippines and making a little grilled shrimp thing with someone who's never had a tourist there, a guest there.
I mean, that's amazing.
So it's a range of experiences that are really tailored to where we are. And what would be the best, kind of thing you can do there. But I think what makes it unique and what I'm excited about is that the people who help us with the classes in SALT Lab or help us with the menus at SALT Kitchen and Chef's Table we work with kind of regional food experts. So it could be cookbook authors, it could be sometimes chefs who are also writing a cookbook, or people who really know their stuff but also have a sense, who really, really know the food of the place, but have a sense also of storytelling and how to kind of explain things to people. Those people we're working with to help design our shore experiences too. So for instance, today we're in Zadar, we're going to winery. We're working with someone who is a Croatian. He's a journalist and winemaker, so he's very involved in
Croatian wines are wonderful.
A lot of great stuff. Yeah. But the idea is, like, if I come from journalism. I come from the background of being an editor and food writer and travel writer and editor. And if you're assigning a story or you're writing a story, you're thinking about who are the main characters, what are the scenes we can get, where are the places we have to go, and what are we going to take away, not just sip some wine, look at a nice view, and come back, which is nice. But we try to package these tours, these experiences, as something where you're really having a real experience and you're learning something and you're coming away with a better understanding of a place. So you working with regional experts is really I think this special sauce here.
No, that's it. It sounds wonderful. I wish I could go in this one. I'm caught doing more interviews, unfortunately, but I would love to go in. Well, let's go.
Just keep doing this. Keep the camera rolling.
Keep the camera rolling. We'll do it. But I will be at this.
On wheels. We can just, we need a tracking shot.
I will be at this chef's table tonight, so I'm looking forward to that a lot. Now, one of the things about this ship is that this is probably the first one you had a little more input in terms of what you got to design the facilities and the program.
Yeah.
Whereas before that, it was really before that they were designed before the program existed. Really.
Well, yeah, the spaces themselves weren't designed, but the kind of box it was in was designed. So the original SALT lab on Moon took over the space that had been La Dame, which was being moved to a different deck, getting its own, ready for its close-up sort of bigger space. So we had a kind of prescribed place. Within that, we were able to design it the way we wanted. But this, I think, is the first ship that is building on the success of SALT on the previous two ships. And so you'll see tonight that it's a radically different space. I have a real soft spot in my heart for the old SALT lab and SALT bar because they were the first ones, and they're still wonderful places. But I have to say, it is a treat to be able to have a lab where you can open the doors and stand outside, or do dinners and see the sunset, and have more people.
We're looking right at a beautiful view. This ship is so light, so airy, so many windows, so much glass, exactly, and really feels bigger, even though there's actually more guests than on the previous two ships. So this is interesting.
Yeah, it feels right. It doesn't, because it's sort of elongated. You don't feel like there's never a traffic jam anywhere. The spaces are just sort of a bit grander, but they still work for their purposes. So yeah, glad you're enjoying it.
Really do. I'm enjoying it. The other thing about SALT is that you were kind of, if not ahead of your time, sort of reflective of your time, because everybody's talking about enjoying local cuisine. In the last few years, everybody's focused on local cuisine, local experiences, and you were really, that's what this program does, right?
I think so. I think it makes sense. It's not meant to replace another way of dining or experiencing, where you're going, but I think there is a real hunger for authentic experiences, for connecting with places, and food is such an intimate, sort of essential way to do that. We're also, more and more trained by or excited by food media, by social media. There's the word spreads about a great pastry here or a great chef doing something. I think what we're trying to do that is again sort of unique or special to this program is that it's not any one thing, that you have this ecosystem of what you do off the ship, of what you do in SALT Kitchen with the dishes themselves, with the menu development, what you do in SALT Lab with learning, with classes, and now with Chef's Table as a kind of intimate experience. And then we should end up here after your meal.
After the meal in the SALT bar, like
cocktails to discuss it all.
I think that's important. Maybe we'll do the interview again at that point after a few drinks. But
we'll have to have subtitles for that, maybe, or just play music over it. It may not make a whole lot of sense.
Now, how would you suggest, we're going out to our travel advisors out there who are telling their clients how to experience ships and what they really need to do. Should they be telling their clients about SALT and how to best experience the whole program?
I think the key for me, coming from this side of the program, is to know your client and sort of ask them, or ask them to ask themselves, how much of this do they like? So if you're someone who isn't very adventurous about food, or just doesn't want to try, it has been missing coming back, just wants to be on a beautiful new ship, going to amazing places, sit by the pool. Well, we can meet you at the pool we have a SALT bar cart. We make regional cocktails, but that are very nice to enjoy by the pool. So maybe we get you with a welcome cocktail. If you're curious, please come in SALT Kitchen. You can have dinner if you like it. Menu changes every night. Come every night. Mm-hmm. Come every night to the bar. Even if you've exhausted all the choices from the SALT bar menu, if you tell them that if you tell the bartender you like a Negroni, we're in Croatia. Our bar guy, the guy who helps us with all the bar things, one of his top three gins is a Croatian gin. He's telling me, so he can make you a Croatian inspired or regionally inspired Negroni or Manhattan or whatever it is. And so I think the point is just, if you're someone who really likes this stuff and you can build a whole itinerary around it. You could, plan to go to the classes. You could reserve the Shorex. You could, eat it at SALT Kitchen or Chef's Table as many times as you want. So it really is kind of, the idea is that it's designed to sort of meet you where you are in your
So you
food.
can go for a full blast culinary experience and do everything, or you can pick and choose the things that you want
Exactly.
and really experience the destination. I mean, quite frankly, it's very appealing to maybe do the whole thing, because I mean that's what all these cruises often are about, is food and wine and destinations and experiencing local stuff. And in the old days, cruising wasn't always that we had, everybody wanted their American food.
It was about consistency, right? It was about
Being able to consistently deliver a great product wherever you are in the world, and that in itself is an amazing feat. But whilst building on that, we can still do that, and you can have that, and then on the nights you want that with a variation, with a local flair, a local twist, then you've got your options here. But yeah, I do think what makes it special is that if you want to do a lot, there's a lot to do, and you can kind of fill it. I mean, not fill every day, but do something different every day, and then come back to the venues and try different things. And if you're just, you want to sort of do a little bit of this and a little bit of more of an experience you're familiar with, there's no pressure to. It's not a culinary cruise. It's not like
it's ticking off the boxes. Oh, I got to do this. I got to do that.
I mean, only tick off the boxes you want to tick off. Right. But it's not like this is a culinary cruise and next month it's something else. It's a permanent feature on these ships, and it's there for you to enjoy to the degree that you're interested in it, which I think is what makes it nice. And what makes me really happy is you see people who they try S.A.L.T. Kitchen, they get curious, or talking to the sommelier about the local wines, and then they know the menu is going to change, so they want to come back and try it. Or they do one class, and that maybe the one class was just going to be, something to do, just as a variety of experiences, but they realize they really like it because it's not just learning a recipe, it's learning about a place, it's connecting to a place. So they sign up for more, or they do one Shorex and realize that this is an approach I like.
Well, and you do Shorex on almost every port probably that you're doing, and that you got a lot of, like today's Croatia. I don't know if you did something yesterday in Venice or
in Venice we didn't, just because it was essentially a kind of embarkation day, but we do have things that we do in Venice. We don't have every port, but we try to do it where it makes sense. Right. If it's a place that just is, if we know that 90% of the people are going to want to go see the beaches or go to the a beautiful temple that's 2 hours away, we don't want to compete with that too much. But most places there's a compelling food story if you know where to look for it. And so for people who are interested in that, we're trying to find it wherever we go. And we're also the fun part for me and the exciting challenge is that we're never stopping. Wherever even when we go back somewhere, we want to build on what we're doing and find the new winery, find an interest as the
there's a new winery, there's a new restaurant, there's a new specialty thing. Somebody. I mean, that's what we look at things like the Food Network, and you got chefs going all over the world
absolutely.
Trying to find new flavors. Now, anything else you want to tell our 123,000 travel advisors out there, especially? Well, actually, just right off the bat, what do you like about this ship?
Well, 123,000. We only concede 18 at Chef's Table, but I can't do the math because I was an English major. But divide that by 18, and I hope you all get a chance to come because it is a lot of fun, and it's a very special little feeling. I was saying last night was our first real trial with guests, so that's.
Well, I hope you got it right, since I got to do it tonight. I don't know. I'm a little worried about
we'll
that.
meet back here in 12 hours, and we'll know.
Okay.
But I just would be excited from I'm biased obviously because I'm involved in all of S.A.L.T, but sometimes I'm super focused on one venue or we're working on something, and then I get out and walk around and realize it's a very beautiful ship. Come and walk by the pool, have a seat at the pool bar. There's views, 360-degree views. Have a frozen Southside cocktail there that is my new favorite mid walking by the pool drink, and just come check out the ship. It's really beautiful.
It is a gorgeous ship, a very different kind of ship, and I'm glad you now have a lot more facilities on this vessel to do the kind of things you want to do even more. And I got to take advantage of it next time. Hopefully, I'm only on for 3 days, so this is really not enough time. I got to come back. Yeah. But Adam, I want to thank you for taking the time. We'll see you maybe tonight, and you'll have to tell me about this shore excursion today and the winery that you visited. And we'll find out more. Again, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks so much, James. I appreciate it.
I'm James Shillinglaw, and this is Insider Travel Report.